Alright, guys. Now, obviously, it's coming to the end of July, which means it's basically uh, when the transfer window is in full swing for the summer. So, like, when all the big rumours are coming through, basically. So, I thought basically I'll take the four biggest transfer rumours, aka like the four biggest transfers, um, and like see which one I think would like have the biggest impact on the club they join, but also like have the biggest knock-on effect as well. So like obviously over recent years we've seen domino effects from transfers. Like trying to think of one now. I remember a few years ago, Alvaro Morata joined Chelsea from Real Madrid. Did that happen? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that you know what I mean. That there's been knock-on effects, or like Neymar to PSG, which resulted in Coutinho moving to Barca, which Liverpool probably already knew was going to happen, so they signed Mohamed Salah, and so on and so on. But yeah, so the four transfers that I picked, we'll start off with the one that's pretty much, well, it has happened now. Jadon Sancho to Man United from Borussia Dortmund for around 75 million. So obviously, Man United have been crying out for a right winger or someone to play on the right side of the pitch in front of Wan-Bissaka for a while now. It's fair to say. Um, they haven't really had a world class player in that position over the past 10 years, really. I mean, Angel Di Maria did play there, but in a United shirt, he wasn't great, was he? Let's be honest. They've also been players like Antonio Valencia, who did a good job, but again, wasn't really one of the best in the world, was he? Let's be honest. And also more recently, Juan Mata and maybe sometimes Ashley Young. And that has resulted in players like Mason Greenwood being pushed out to the right wing where it's not their natural position. But now they've signed one of the most exciting young players in Europe in Jadon Sancho, and he will have a big impact on Man United next season, as they will be able to attack more and like do better attacks on the right hand side, as opposed to usually trying to go through the left hand side through Rashford and Luke Shaw. Now they're more of a threat from both sides. Now that they've signed Sancho, my second candidate sort of is uh, Erling Haaland to Chelsea. Now this one is very far fetched. I'm not 100. Well, I'm not even like 20% sure this is going to happen. It would be very surprising because of the amount of money it's going to take, and because Erling Haaland next summer will be available for 75 million. A lot of teams will just wait until then to sign him, and Dortmund will probably keep him for another season. But if a team is going to sign him this summer, it is going to cost double the price tag it would cost him next summer, which would be around 150 million. And Chelsea, the team rumoured to sign him. Now, obviously, Chelsea last season didn't have an out-and-out goal scorer, really. Kai Havertz ended up playing in the centre-forward role towards the end of the season, which he did all right, to be fair. He scored the winner in the Champions League final and did have quite a few good performances towards the end of the season after a slow start. And Timo Werner has just sort of shown that he's not the clinical finisher that Chelsea thought they were signing last summer. And although his performances overall haven't been that bad for Chelsea recently, he's been pushed out to like the left hand side, leaving space for them to sign a striker. And obviously, Erling Haaland is the name that's being brought up. And should they sign him, there's no doubt in my mind that he would be amazing for Chelsea and would be probably the most deadly striker in the Premier League goal-wise next season. And then the third pick for me is Harry Kane to Man City. Now, over the past few days, a certain newspaper that shall not be named in this video has reported that Harry Kane could be on his way to Manchester City for 160 million from Tottenham. And the way that this has been reported is actually through a journalist who usually doesn't really cover the sports section of this newspaper. Usually covers like the showbiz section, which is a bit strange. But apparently the news was leaked at Harry Kane's brother's wedding, in which he was the best man, which is, I mean, a bit strange, but we'll go with it. And so this does look a bit more likely than Erling Haaland going to Chelsea, and the effect that this would have on Manchester City, I don't think would be as large as Haaland to Chelsea, purely because I think City are a better side than Chelsea. But I know when they play each other, it's a very, very even game, but I think City are far more consistent than Chelsea, and I think Ferran Torres could do a good job in that striker position, but obviously Harry Kane is going to be a level above Ferran Torres and will have a bit of an impact, but I don't think he'll have a massive impact. And then the final pick I've gone with is Paul Pogba to PSG, and this has basically been linked because Paul Pogba next season is in the final year of his Manchester United contract, and Man United aren't really going to want to let him go on a free. So if they don't feel that they can get him to sign a new contract, then they're going to want to just get some sort of fund out of him this summer, rather than have another average season at United like he has done over the past few years. Of course, there has been spells where he's played really well, but these spells usually only last a month or two. And overall, if we're being honest, he hasn't been worth the 90 million that they paid for him 5 years ago. So yeah, they're going to try and get some of that money back for him. And to PSG, obviously PSG have had the best transfer window out of any team this summer, already signing Achraf Hakimi, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Jorginho Wijnaldum, and I think there's someone else as well, Sergio Ramos, obviously, which is an amazing transfer window. And Paul Pogba would be rumoured to cost about 50 to 60 million, which for a 28-year-old, I think if he's not 28 already, he is this year. That's quite a steep price for someone who is obviously a phenomenally talented footballer, but is yet to really show it on a consistent basis. And you could debate whether PSG actually are desperate for a player like him when they've already signed Jorginho Wijnaldum, and they've got Marco Verratti, and there are a few other players in that position as well. Like Marquinhos usually, or can sometimes, play in the sitting role in front of the defence if they play four at the back. But I think this season they might revert to a three at the back with a four in midfield, meaning that they would only play with two central midfielders in theory, because this would suit them playing with wing backs more and would give an ageing Sergio Ramos more defensive cover, having two other centre backs alongside him in Presnel Kimpembe and Marquinhos. So I think this transfer wouldn't have much of an impact. So out of all the transfers that have been rumoured, I personally think that Jadon Sancho would be the biggest one of the summer, as I don't believe Erling Haaland will actually join Chelsea this summer. I think he'll move away from Dortmund. It might not even be to Chelsea, but I think he'll move next summer. So yeah, I think Jadon Sancho will be the most impactful transfer in this summer transfer window. Anyway, thanks for watching, and comment down below what you think will be which transfer this summer or will have the biggest effects on the team. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.